What is up, YouTube?
Good evening and shit. It's like 10:49 p.m.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I want to thank you guys for the 1,000+ views on my last video. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it so much. And in celebration of that, I've decided to release my werewolf build for you guys. This build is centered around the Werewolf's Fear ability and debuffing the enemies around you as well as buffing yourself. We are running an Orc Templar on this build. I like the Templar for the Werewolf because of the Restoring Spirit passive and the Balanced Warrior passive for reduced ability and ultimate cost as well as extra damage and spell resistance. So jumping right into the sets, we're using a Stuns Maul for more penetration, sharpened with the weapon damage enchant. And for the back bar, we're using the Master's Perfected Sword and Board, the Puncturing Remedy set, powered and sturdy. Whenever you use Puncture, you heal for 5k and get physical and spell resistance equal to the amount healing. I use these double dot, double hop poisons because they proc sometimes when you use Puncture and give you a heal over time. I am running a Lady Maligda Helm Divines for the one-piece pen, a reinforced Wretched Vitality chest, and a well-fitted belt. In pen on everything else, health enchants on all the big pieces, stamina on all the small, and a stunned shoulder to make room for the Mythic. For the Mythic, we're running the Shapeshifter's Chain, Mag Recover enchant with the Bloodthirsty trait, as well as a Stuns Ring infused with a Weapon Damage enchant, and another Stuns Ring infused with a Tri Recovery enchant. The Shapeshifter's Chain itself is probably my favorite Mythic to run for a werewolf. It reduces the cost of the transformation and the werewolf abilities itself, also while increasing your max stats after transforming into werewolf form. The reduced cost is pretty significant when it comes to transforming because it goes from about 300 ultimate down to about 250, which is very nice. And also the reduced costs for all abilities, which are typically really expensive, is extremely noticeable. So for my base attributes, I'm running 32 in the health, 32 in the stand. I run 32 in the health just to increase my health pool because the werewolf heal after transformation scales off your max health. I'm also running the Lady Mundus for more penetration. The penetration on this build is pretty high. It's about 10k unprocced without major breach. And in werewolf form, having penetration is really important. It's one of the things a lot of werewolves actually struggle with. So offensively proccing our weapon damage enchant and stuns with off balance, you'll hit about 5k weapon and spell damage with about 15k physical and spell penetration in human form. That 15k is without major breach. With major breach, it's probably about 20k. Defensively proccing Wretched Vitality, you'll hit about 1.3k mag recovery, 1k health recovery, and another 1.3 stam recovery with 32k spell and physical resistance. That's just defensively in human form. So this build is tailored more for werewolf form, and after you transform, your character sheet does change. You'll hit about 5.2k weapon and spell damage base with about 6k base pen and 27k base resistances. I'm not sure why penetration drops to about 6k like that, considering we're running like 5 different sources of penetration. But it doesn't really matter. After you proc stuns and the weapon damage enchant, you'll get up to about 5.7k weapon damage with about 11k physical and spell penetration. Now, stacking that with major breach, we'll hit about maybe 16 or 17k pen, which is essentially a Baylord proc on command with the Werewolf Fear. For the food that I'm running Bewitched Sugar Skulls, just because we have so much recovery already. And for the potions I'm using, I run a variety of potions. I really like just the regular trash pots, the Crown Tribe Restoration pots. Those things aren't too bad. I have these Restore Health, Restore Stam, and Increase Physical Resistance pots, which I use sometimes. I also have the opposite of this, which is Restore Health, Restore Mag, and Increase Spell Resistance. I was using those for a while, just depending on who I'd fought. I'd pop the certain type of potion, like if they were Stam or Mag. I've been using the immovability pots with stealth detection. You gotta have those just to catch those pesky night blades, man. They're so annoying. And last but not least, I got invisibility potions. Nothing's funnier than seeing a werewolf disappear out of nowhere. Werewolves don't have the ability to crouch or go in stealth, but popping your invisibility pot when you're trying to get away from somebody is pretty clutch. For the human skills, we're running biting jabs, toppling charge. It's more for toppling charge. Always sets them off balance instead of just a chance. It's pretty important to proc stuns in human form. We're running race against time for the snare removal. Power of the Light hits really hard and also applies minor breach. And we're also running rally for the burst heal and increased stamina regen, as well as the Berserker Werewolf ultimate. So on the back bar, I'm running Pierce Armor to proc our Master's Perfected Sword and Board. Extended Rituals, the Templar Cleanse, is a must-have for PvP. Restoring Focus is our source of major resolve. Honor the Dead is our Magicka Burst heal. Resolving Vigor is our stamina heal over time, and I slot Temporal Guard for minor protection while slotted. So for my werewolf abilities, for my gap closer I use the Brutal Pounce morph. This transforms into Brutal Carnage and also increases your weapon damage per enemy hit and applies an execute dot. For the healing morph I use Hircine's Fortitude. I think it's the better healing morph and it gives you stamina back if you heal at full health. Deafening Roar is like the bread and butter of this build. It sets enemies off balance in an area around you, proccing stuns, and applies major breach. Howl of Agony is the hardest hitting werewolf ability. And Claws of Anguish, I like Claws of Anguish because of the Major Defile, and we're also running the Werewolf Berserker ultimate. If you want to run more healing, you can use Claws of Life, but I prefer the Major Defile. But Deafening Roar is the morph that you want for this build. For the champion points, in the green tree, you can run what you want, but my favorite ones for PvP are Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, War Mount, and Gifted Rider. In the blue tree, I run Cleansing Revival, turns your heal into a cleanse, and it's like a one-slot Mars Bomb, especially with the nerf that's coming in Necrom. Exploiter, Master of Arms, and Deadly Aim, those are all my damage buffs in the blue tree. In the red tree, running Celerity for increased movement speed, stacked with Werewolf and Orc, insane amount of speed. Survival Instincts, 25% cost to core abilities like rolling, break free, and blocking. Balanced Vitality and Fortified, I just run for the extra boost to resistances and health. But the one that's most important is the Exploiter, increased 10% damage to off-balance enemies, which synergizes with stuns and the penetration you get from the Werewolf Fear ability. It's very important. For the combo in human form, what you're going to want to do is Power the Light, toppling charge them, proc and stuns, and then just jab them till they explode. This is just if you want to do damage in human form. The main goal is to turn into a werewolf though. The Berserker dots put a lot of pressure on your target, but the hardest way you can hit somebody in werewolf is to fear them and try to hit them with Howl of Agony. Howl of Agony does miss a lot, but when it does hit, it just deletes people. And if that doesn't work, stop their healing with Claws of Anguish. Just throw a couple of those in there and then hit them with Howl some more. Thanks for watching my build video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I got some gameplay clips coming up with some dope music playing in the background. Some 1v1 situations, some battlegrounds and stuff, just so you can see how the build performs in PvP situations. And yeah, if you can, like and sub, drop a comment if you can. And yeah, until next time, guys. Peace.